Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Clay White. I'm the Instructional Technology Specialist for the buoy feeder pattern. And I've been kind of placed in a really tough time slot here. I'm basically in the shut up, get off the stage, I want to go to lunch time slot. And I've also followed some outstanding presentations by my fellow Instructional Technology Specialist. But I want to tell you that I don't have any gimmicks. You know, I'm not going to come up here riding on a horse. I don't have little cars to play with. It was suggested at one time that I come on stage with a clown suit and a squirt gun. And I was actually considering this up to a few moments ago. But I will promise you that this will be an entertaining and enlightening presentation. And when you fill out your comment forms, if you do feel it's enlightening and entertaining, just remember my name on the comment form, Clay White. And if for some reason it's not entertaining and enlightening, my name is Bozo the Clown. So just keep that in mind. Now, my topic today, as Brian mentioned, is to try to answer the burning question, why should I care about the technology application teaks? Or, as I like to call it, the buried tool. Now, I know what you're thinking. Anyway, that's my sound effect. But, you know, basically, the sound effect was supposed to call me a pathetic loser. So, but the thing is, you will lose out if you don't care about the technology application teaks. All my fellow instructional technology specialists were showing you some outstanding tools, but it means nothing without the technology application teaks. All right? Now, I know as administrators, you're sitting here thinking to yourself, oh my God, he's going to talk more about teaks. You know, we've got the math teaks, the science teaks, the social studies teaks, the LA language arts teaks. Now he's going to throw another set of teaks at us that I got to care about. And why should I care about it? Because it's not being tested. And you're right, it's not being tested. But I'm hoping by the end of my presentation, I can convince you that you should care. All right? Now, the first reason that you should care about the technology application teaks is it's the law. All right, it's the law. It's part of part of the Texas Education Code. It's required by to be incorporated into the curriculum. It's the law. So, according to the Senate Bill 815, technology applications is now a required curriculum, and all school districts, as a condition of accreditation, must provide instruction in technology application teaks. The TEA curriculum requirements state that technology applications curriculum must be offered by all Texas state schools. Now, I like to call this the big stick approach. All right? Beat them over the head with it. Tell them it's required. They have to do it. Well, that approach doesn't work too well. Matter of fact, I tried that approach just recently, a couple of weeks ago, and I told the teachers, hey, you're required to do this. You're required to integrate this technology into your classroom. And there was some mention about burning me at the stake, tar and feathering me, that sort of stuff. So it didn't really go over too well. So I don't like to use that technique. You know, beat them over the head, tell them it's required, because you're going to lose them right off the bat. So what I'd like to do is to appeal to you as administrators and also as parents. Right? How many of you have children? All right? Lots of you have children, right? You've seen all the technology they've got out there. All right? I mean, they've got iPads, iPhones, they've got smartphones, they've got laptops. These kids are connected. All right? And as parents and as professional educators, you should be concerned about whether or not they're learning how to use these tools. Okay? So, now, let's look to the EPISD mission statement for inspiration. And I know you guys all have this memorized. The mission of the El Paso Independent School District is to meet the diverse needs of all the students and empower them to become successful members of a global community. Now, there are certain phrases in here that I'm going to touch on to help reinforce that idea of why you should care about the technology application teaks. One of them is diverse needs, empower, successful members of a global community. All right, when you're integrating technology into your classroom, you are touching on all of these. And you are meeting the diverse needs of the students in the classroom. You are empowering them. You are making them not just members, but successful members of the global community. And I think the global community is the key term here. Okay, because you know as well as I do, we're not just the United States anymore. We're not just Russia and China. We're a global community now. If something happens economically or politically in China, Russia, or South America or anywhere, it affects us within hours. So the students and your children have to be able to deal with this, again, on a global basis. And that's where the technology application TEKS come in. Now, I'd like to show you a real quick video that, again, I think will help reinforce why you should care about the technology application.
This telephone has too many shortcomings to be seriously considered as a means of communication. The device is inherently of no value to us.
Western Union Internal Memo, 1876.
Ballpoint pens will be the ruin of education in our country.
Federal Teachers, 1950.
I think there is a world market for maybe 5 computers.
IBM President Thomas J. Watson.
Computers themselves and software yet to be developed will revolutionize the way we learn.
Steve Jobs.
The most powerful technology in the classroom was, is, and will remain a classroom teacher.
Preparing students for the future is a challenge that every educator must face. What will the future look like for our students? What types of jobs will be available to our students? We don't know what jobs will exist in the future, but according to the World Future Society, we could be preparing students for jobs such as these: biobotic physician, clone rancher, digital archaeologist, exozoologist, energy harvester, robotician, mobile biomass therapist, space junk hauler. According to noted author Ian Jukes, the fundamental issue we are facing in the 21st century classroom has very little to do with hardware and everything to do with headware. A focus on critical thinking, problem solving, creativity, information fluency, 21st century collaboration, and what it means to be a global digital citizen in the new digital landscape. Technology has flattened or leveled the playing field across the globe. Countries, companies, and individuals no longer have to worry about the constraints of a geographical location.
Now, as you see from that video, I like the one, the space junk hauler. I thought that was a pretty good job. But again, you see that we have to care about those technology TEKS. Right? Now, the next question pops up in mind is, okay, you're talking to me, you're kind of convincing me that I should care about the technology TEKS, but what are the technology TEKS? Ashton touched on them briefly over here, but what are the technology TEKS? And, more importantly, what are the tools that you have as administrators and your teachers have to help them learn about the technology application TEKS and to implement them and to integrate them? Okay, so the first strand, there are 6 strands to the technology application TEKS, and the first one is creativity and innovation. Students are, in this particular strand, are supposed to take the picture that they just drew on a piece of paper and use a program like Paint or something like that to make it more creative and more innovative and take it to a new level. All right, that's the first strand. Now, what kind of tools do you have and do your teachers have for this, to be able to do this? Well, one of the first ones here is Paint. We also have Movie Maker, and of course, iMovie and iPhone. And this is just a few of them that are out there. And these are all available to your teachers and to your students right now. Now, the next strand is communication and collaboration, and that goes back to that global community idea. Students not only have to learn to communicate on a global level, but they also have to be able to problem solve and make decisions and work in groups at a global level. Okay, so what tools do we have out there? Well, we have, of course, Skype. We have Uvu. We also have life-size video card that you saw Ashton using. And we also have Ustream. Okay, Ustream is a great tool for campuses to be able to broadcast their announcements and events on the internet to the global community and to their educational community. So these are the tools we have for communication and collaboration. We also have research and information fluency. Okay, students need to know how to use these tools to research, to find answers. What tools do we have for that? Well, we have atomic learning. We have Google. We have Yahoo. And we also have Ustream. Now, YouTube is a great source. A great source. Students are constantly on there finding information. It's a great information source. A very important strand is critical thinking, problem solving, and decision making. And this is really the nuts and bolts of using technology, integrating technology into the classroom. Students need to be able to use that technology to make decisions. Now, as administrators, I'm sure you're all familiar with the term data-driven decision making, right? That's what runs our district. That's what supposedly runs our district. But the students need to be able to do that too. Well, what kind of tools do we have? We have learning.com. We have Excel, and we have Smart Notebook, which Smart Notebook is what works with the interactive whiteboards out there. I included Excel in this because Excel, I think, is an extremely underrated tool and a misunderstood tool. As administrators, I'm sure you've dealt with budgets on Excel spreadsheets and can see what they do. Excel is an extremely powerful tool to be able to make decisions and do some critical thinking. Digital citizenship is another strand. If they're going to be members of this global community, then they need to know how to act in that global community. They need to know what the protocols are. They need to know what the do's and don'ts are. So what do we have to support that? Well, again, we have learning.com, which teaches the students digital citizenship, atomic learning, and that is Edmodo. How many of you are familiar with Edmodo or have heard of Edmodo? Okay, Edmodo is an incredibly powerful tool. It's a free tool available to all teachers and educators, but it's basically a social network. But it's a controlled social network. It's not like Facebook or those other social networks. This is actually a constructive social network where the students learn to collaborate on the classroom scale. And they can upload things to the teachers. The teacher can put tests on there and do it all paperless. Okay, so Edmodo is an outstanding tool if you're not familiar with it. Technology, the last strand that we have is technology, operations, and concepts. And this kind of wraps it all up, basically because with this particular strand, the students are supposed to decide what tools they need to use. They have all these different tools out there. I've shown you a bunch of the tools, but they have to make decisions. They have to make decisions about what tools to use to solve a specific problem. And that's what this particular strand's about. Well, what do we have out there? Well, now we've got, of course, PowerPoint. We've got Word. We've got, as Joe showed us, iPads and what Karen showed us. And, of course, we've got the laptops out there. These are the tools that they're being exposed to. These are the ones, and they're being exposed to them at an early age, which is a good thing because by the time they get out there and be members of that global community, they will know which tool to choose. All right? So these are the technology strands, all 6 of them. And these are the tools that you as administrators and your teachers and your students have available to you right now. Now, the next question is, okay, who's rocking with this technology? What campuses are out there actually committing and caring about the technology TEKs? Well, one of them is one of my favorite schools, Douglas Elementary, the home of the Dragons. They have committed to using Smart Notebook, interactive whiteboards. They've just purchased about 12 of them, and they're continuing to work with those. They also use Ustream to announce on the DragonNet to announce their morning announcements and any kind of events that go on. Those of you, I don't know if you're familiar with Coach Davis. He's very good about doing that. We also have Guillen Middle School, which Ashton's already showed you. They made a huge commitment to using the video conferencing tools, connecting with NASA, with schools in New York, and so on. A great tool. They are also, again, committing to Smart Notebook, Smart Board, using interactive whiteboards. They're also committed to using the Smart Response system, which is another way to get students interacting with their lessons. And also Edmodo. A lot of the teachers there have been using Edmodos and created a paperless environment for their students. We also have Hillside Elementary, who's using Ustream, again, to make announcements and broadcast those announcements on the internet. And we also have Bond Elementary. Bond Elementary is actually using this program here, which is WordPress, which is actually a web design program, and combining it with Audacity, which is a free audio editing program, and the students are posting podcasts of them reading and evaluating literature. What a great way. And they put it up there on the website. Everybody has access to it. They are also using Ustream, again, to make their announcements. These are just a few of the schools that are out there and who have committed to using and implementing and integrating the technology application TEKS. These are the schools you can look to. These are the ones you can use as models. All right? There are a lot of them out there. This is just a few of them. All right? So, now, let's answer the question. I hope we can answer this question now. Why should you care, or why should I care about the technology application TEKS? Well, it's all about them. All right? It's all about what turns them on. Not what turns us on, but what turns them on. We have to make sure that they are prepared to be those successful members of the global community. All right? So, that's it. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I forgot about it. The next question would be, well, what do I do? Okay, you've convinced me, Clay. I should care about the technology application TEKS, but what do I do now? Where do I go? Well, what you should do is you go to your instructional technology specialist. They are experts. We are experts in a great resource, and we're experts at modeling, integrating technology into the classroom. And who are your instructional technology specialists? Here they are. Here are the faces. Oh. Ah, okay. Here are the faces. Find these people. Talk to them. These are the people you need to talk to. All right? So, that's it. It's lunchtime. Thank you.